Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. My name is Caroline Heward, and I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. Our show today is Talking Heads. I'm an expert presenter on today's topic, which is healing the emotional body through the root chakra, and it's part of the Eastern Mind meets Western Body healing series. Let's begin. I want to first introduce you to the 7 major chakras. Now, the 7 major chakras are related to the 7 major glands of the body. I want to give you context for this so that you understand where the root chakra is related to the other chakras. The root chakra is the red one, which is right at the bottom of the base of the spine. It's where the base of the spine meets the genital area, and the color is red. The other chakras, we're going to go through some of them during forwarding lessons. So the root chakra, it's also known as Muladhara, and it is known for the support, our support system. The graphic on the left-hand side is what it looks like in Sanskrit. Now, the root chakra is related to earth. It's related to our ground, our right to be here. It is supporting our entire body. It supports our body from the base of the spine all the way up to the neck, to the top of the neck. Now, when we were born, I promise you, we were born with no mind. There was no conversation, no thinking, no analytical debate. There was nothing. We were completely sensory. We were experiencing life through our sensories. Everybody, and I don't know anybody that doesn't goo and gar at a baby, because the purity of the innocence of there being no agenda, no conversation, only the purity of peace. This is how we were all born. I promise you, even you were born this way. Now, what happens in life? Things happen. Things happen, events, challenges, and situations. And I'm going to go through some of those things that change the way that we experience life. So in the root chakra, there are 7 major pillars which support our foundation. If you think about a house, it has a firm foundation. When they're building a house, they take time and it almost feels like it's just a hole. You know, when you're looking, all it is a hole in the ground, and we don't see anything else. But the foundation is being built, and it's strong. Now, there are 7 major pillars in the root chakra. They are home, work, family, relationships, finance, security, money. Now, that might sound like everything, and I suppose it is. And yes, it's our foundational support. If something happens in our family, like a bereavement, that can affect our foundation and our stability. If something changes in our work, that can affect our foundation and our stability. If there's a sickness, if we have a sickness, or there's a family sickness, that affects our foundation and our security. If we change jobs, that will affect us. If we're learning a new skill, a new trade, that affects our foundation and our stability. So it's the very fundamentals that affect our foundations. If we have a new relationship, even if it's a good relationship and we're getting married, that will still affect how we experience life and how we are interacting in our everyday world. There's nothing wrong. There's good things in the foundation. But then even if you're getting married or have a new relationship and everything's happy and you're moving to a lovely home, that will still affect our foundation and our security because it's unknown and we're making plans and we're changing and maneuvering into that new way of being. And I'm sure that in our current times, there's been many changes in terms of our work, our occupation, our relationships, our home. Even if you've moved countries, towns, cities, if you've moved from a place that's been in war-torn or in conflict and moved to a place where it's serene, it will still have an effect even though you're not in that situation. And the foundation pillars affect how the rest of our body is supported. And also when there's things that are difficult that we can't handle, we don't handle, like a bereavement, for instance, what happens is that we can automatically go into autopilot and go into logical, physical, practical things that have to be done. And when we do that, the body naturally protects our emotions. It looks after us because the body is a perfect self-defense mechanism. And what it does, it literally supports you by shutting down the feelings and emotions so that you can cope. Now, the result of that happening, and you don't think about it, you don't decide, you don't take a decision to make that shutdown happen. Your body naturally shuts down to protect you. And when it shuts down the emotions and feelings, the escape route is the mind. And then you think, talk, and analyze through everything. And then everything is a conversation in the mind. When you're in the feelings and emotions, like when you were first born, and you're in your sensory experiences, there is no stress. All stress resides in the mind. And when there is no mind, there is no stress. Physical, emotional ache and pain can literally disappear. So let's look at what happens in the root chakra. The saboteur of the root chakra is fear. Now that breaks down to false evidence appearing real. Let me say that again. False evidence appearing real. The mind does not know what is real or imagined. And what happens is that the mind, whatever you're thinking about, creates into your reality. So if you start thinking that something is not good, something's not going to work, if you start getting anxious about future events, then the body starts to experience as if it is experiencing that for real. Even though it's not real, it will start to experience as if it is in that exact situation, because it just does not know. Now, the result of that is that we can go into a situation where we might go into flight. We'll literally disengage, we'll repel, and we'll move out of the situation. We'll literally run away, almost like there's a saber-toothed tiger chasing us. And the system, our entire system, goes on red alert. And everything gets engaged as if we're going to be attacked. So we take flight. Now, moving into flight and literally running away in a situation that is in the mind is not good for you, because it puts you into overdrive in the place of fear. And it's in the mind. The drama of the intensity of the fear is all in the mind. There isn't a saber-toothed tiger that's chasing you, that's going to kill you. But the mind starts to respond and the body starts to respond as if there is severe danger. So one of the situations, one of the responses is flight. You might freeze, where you literally can't do anything, where you're stuck for words, you can't say anything, you can't move. Have you ever had that kind of experience where you're literally just frozen to the spot, and whatever is happening literally compels you in that space of being frozen, that you can't move, you can't shout, you can't scream, you can't do anything. You literally shut down in freeze. And that is because the body is protecting you so that you don't get hurt. The feelings and emotions shut down so you don't get hurt emotionally. These are disengagements when you take flight or freeze. Now, when we engage in a fight. So we go and fight the saber-toothed tiger. We go and, go in there and give it all we've got. It might not be as dangerous as the mind has made us think it is. But when we move into that fight situation, we're actually facing the fear and moving into overcoming. So we're engaging in that fear. That's uncomfortable. And this is what many people do, certainly in war-torn countries, but actually facing the fear, facing what's presented, and then they're moving through in the state that they're in fight, and engaging in the whole scenario of looking after yourself. It's incredible how the fight and facing one situation can move us into incredible amounts of power. There has been cases where there's been a child that's been run over, where mothers have literally lifted up the car and rescued the child. Untold amounts of sheer strength and power, literally to overcome the fear. So you're in fight, and you get that strength from somewhere that's just unbelievably impossible to gain when you're not in that frozen state. So let's just remember that the saboteur of the root chakra is fear. When we're in a state of fear, the saboteur of the root chakra is in its element, and it's not balanced. When we are unbalanced in the root chakra, it causes severe stress, anxiety, and sometimes to the place of depression. Let's look at some symptoms of imbalance in the root chakra. Low back pain, sciatica. Sometimes people suffer with low back pain and it's there permanently. They just put up with it. They just literally feel that's just how it is. So they're using painkillers, they're using rubs, and nothing seems to shift it. And the low back pain is related to that there's an imbalance of unexpressed emotions in the root chakra. Now, I went through the types of scenarios, the pillars of the root chakra. And most of us at some point in our lives have had a home move, a change of work, a change of role, a promotion, a demotion, sickness that they've had to handle, sickness in the family. Most of us have had to handle these types of situations, a new relationship that's causing strain. And it's when the emotions of these situations are not handled, this is how it affects our body. So it goes physical. Low back pain, sciatica, can affect the immune system. So things such as cancer, for instance, can affect you when issues in life are not handled. Depression and anxiety, where the escape route is the mind, where we literally, in depression, we're thinking about past things. We're thinking about, what about if I could have done this? You're thinking about literally churning over conversations, experiences, things that you thought were solved, but you go back. So you're living in the past, reliving experiences, events, conversations, and trying to work out what you could have said. Well, if I'd have said this, I should have said that. But we can't change what's happened in the past. And therefore, depression sets in. Because the more we focus on the past, the more it creates a situation of hopelessness. Or on the opposite side of things, you could be thinking about the future. Well, if I don't do this, what about that? If I do that, then this might happen and I'll have to handle that. And so there's lots of different scenarios that we play through our minds. Well, this might happen, and if I do that, then I'm going to lose out on this. And this is very much the scenario that's going on in today's world, that there's lots of unknowns, lots of unexpressed unknowns. Where's the money going to come from? Different things are happening that are creating our challenges. And so while we're thinking about future things, we're actually moving into a place of anxiety. Now, when we're in depression in the past or anxiety of the future, we're not actually in the present moment. And where we can change things is when we're in the present moment. So when you're in the past or in the future, we don't have the power to change things. But when we're in our current moment, at the very moment of the second that we're in, that's when we take control. And that's when we can change things. And that's why meditation is really good, to move you out of the state of the past or the future. When you're in a state of depression or anxiety, there is no control, and the mind just goes round and round and round, and there is no way to come out of it. And my invitation for you is to come into the present moment so that you feel more resourceful. Take a walk in nature. Go and hug a tree. Go and talk to somebody that's close to you. So it brings you back into the conversation of the here and now. Financial instability, hunger, and shelter can affect our foundations and our stability. And when we have financial instability, it literally takes us off our root chakra and ungrounds us, makes us feel uncomfortable and unsupported. And so you might find that you're saying things like, I don't feel supported. I don't feel that I'm in control. And that's because the financial situation is imbalanced. If you're hungry, you can't think straight. And if your home isn't supporting you, if you're about to lose your home, or if the home mortgage is going up and up, or if there's something that's changed, you've moved home, countries, towns, cities. There are many people that have become displaced in our current times. which will affect the foundation and the stability of their root chakra. The organs that are associated with the root chakra are the organs of elimination. So we've got the large intestine, the kidneys, the bladder, the rectum, and the sciatic nerve. Now, if you have a bladder infection, for instance, that will mean that there's an uncontrollable situation that's not being handled. Now, when we get infections, that is due to the fact that there's some undealt with anger in our experience, unexpressed anger of a situation. If the kidneys are not able to perform as they should perform, this is where we can have problems in terms of not being able to get rid of the waste that the body requires. The sciatic nerve is related to the root chakra. And when the sciatic nerve is affected, it can actually affect your walking and your stability. It can even create a limp because the body is not feeling supported. I've seen many people that have struggled with sciatic nerve conditions where I've literally decided to rest in bed because the pain is so severe. So these situations of symptoms are very dynamic. They can be very challenging and very, very physical. And they're all related to undealt with issues in life. Let me caveat that by saying it's about unexpressed emotions and feelings. It's where our life events versus our needs not being met. So if there is a challenge in our life, whether it be home, work, family, relationships, finance, security, it will be where we're not feeling that we can cope. And when we're not feeling that we can cope, this is what affects the root chakra. If we're walking around in a lot of fear and panic, then the root chakra will be sabotaged. And so my invitation to you is to express the undealt with emotions and feelings, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's upset, whether there's a feeling of jealousy. It doesn't matter what the feelings are. Allow yourself the permission. That's right, permission. Feel comfortable being given yourself the permission to express whatever you feel. Because unexpressed emotions and feelings literally start attacking the physical body and the mental body. They start elevating you out of the sensory experiences and into the mind and into the physical. And what happens is that most of us don't even realize that we haven't expressed our feelings and emotions. So what we do is we tend to take a pill or use a gel or a rub, or we'll take a sleeping tablet if we're not sleeping. We'll take a tablet for pain. This is generally the Western culture of medicine, that we look at and focus on the physical symptom or the mental symptom and treat the symptom rather than looking at the whole of you. When you look at all of you, there is more to you than the physicality of the symptom, whether it affects you emotionally, mentally, physically, behaviourally, in your relationships. It will show up, and it'll be whatever you're complaining about. And whatever you're complaining about is the symptom of the need, of the life event, the situation that you've just never handled. So my invitation to you is to feel safe, to express, to go into the emotion in the way that's right for you, whether it be privately, whether it be with someone else, or whether it's with you writing a letter to express how you feel and never posting it. But when you express and feel, symptoms literally disappear. I've spoken to people in calls where I've literally identified the root cause of their sciatica, their sleep problems, their bladder problems. And literally in the very next breath, it's like they feel like a weight's been lifted off their shoulders, like they can breathe again, like everything feels like the sun has started to shine. And it's something that is very liberating when you go into the feelings and emotions. I'd like to give you some affirmations for the root chakra. I am centered and grounded. I release all anxiety and fear. Remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real in your sensory world. I release all anxiety and fear. I am here and I am safe. I'm at home in my body. Feel safe to be in your body rather than escaping into your mind. And just saying these affirmations is not enough. It's to feel them. I am centered and grounded. Feel what that feels like. I release all anxiety and fear. I am here and I am safe. I'm at home in my body. And feel what that feels like on your mind and body as you release all fear and anxiety, as you feel safe in your body and centered and grounded. Thank you for your attention and your interest. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV and Radio. You can find all our Talking Heads episodes under the playlist entitled Talking Heads 2022. Please do reach out to me if I may be of service to you, or for a free consultation over Zoom or Skype, whatever is easiest for you. Email me on the details below. nomorestress@live.co.uk, or reach out and call on +44 7523 120 189. Reach out, because I know I can help you diminish your fear and identify root cause. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.